How about those Devils? How about those Devils?
How about those Devils? Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And the New Jersey Devils headed into Philadelphia looking to rebound from what was a very underwhelming trade deadline day, followed by an absolute shellacking at the hands of the Winnipeg Jets on home ice at the Rock, 6-1. It was an ugly day. It was an even uglier night. Devils looking to rebound, a new-look roster, and your New Jersey Devils go into Philadelphia and put up a massive 3-1 victory over the Flyers, getting a much-needed 2 points. What a game. What a game. There's so much to get into, but beforehand, I must ask, I must know.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? Massive 2 points to the boys. The playoff race is getting tighter. The Blue Jackets and the Rangers are fresh on their heels, looking to take that number 3 in the Metro spot. Devils desperately looking to hang on to that playoff spot and not slide into the wild card bloodbath. And what a game. What an absolute game. Before the game, we find out there is, in fact, going to be some lineup changes. Obviously, with the monster acquisitions that Tom Fitzgerald made at the deadline, we're going to see a different lineup. And up front, we see the first line of Timo Meier, Nico Hischier, Stefan Noesen, a second line of Palat, Mercer, and Bratt, a third line of Haula, Glass, and Sprong, and a fourth line of Tatar, Lazar, and Bastian, Dowling, and Paul Cotter out of the lineup. Quite baffling to me, if I'm being honest. I love Paul Cotter. He's heavier, edgier, more violent, throws a ton of hits, has amazing hands and finish when he gets the opportunity. For whatever reason, they decided to scratch him. Later on, Sheldon Keefe called it a reset for Cotter. We see D pairs of Luke Hughes and Brett Pesce, Dumoulin, Kovacevic, Dillon, and Cholowski. Nemitz is out of the lineup. We'll keep an eye on that. What a situation that has become with Shimo Nemitz. But Jake Allen in net. Also Jake Allen in net. I was very nervous for this game. It was a monster one. They needed the points. They found a way to win. Let's get to the game. First period, midway through the first, Devils enter the zone. Noesen throws it towards the net, and the puck takes a weird bounce and comes out to Cody Glass in the circle, and he snaps it into the back of the net. Welcome to the New Jersey Devils, Cody Glass. First goal as a Devil on his first shot on goal as a Devil, and what a way to break the ice in this one. Devils came out a little slow, weren't generating a ton of chances. I thought we could have been in for an ugly one. But Cody Glass gets his 5th of the season, his first as a New Jersey Devil at 11-10, giving the Devils a 1-0 lead. Assisted by Stefan Noesen and Luke Hughes. You'd love to see the new guy getting on the board right away. And that is how the first period would end. The New Jersey Devils with a 1-0 lead. We head to the second. Devils dump and chase. New Jersey Devils. Sprong hustles behind the net. He gets the puck to Haula. Haula gets it to Dillon at the point. Dillon crosses it to Kovacevic, and Kovacevic just fires it towards the net. The puck pinballs around like crazy, and it comes to Haula in front, and he buries it into the empty net for his first goal in 29 games. Must feel great for Erik Haula. Haula's 6th of the season at 5:39 gives the Devils a 2-0 lead, assisted by Kovacevic and Dillon, and super happy for Erik Haula. A lot of people have been down on him as of late. He's been going through a drought. A lot of the guys have been struggling, especially in the offensive production department. And Erik Haula comes up with a big one to give the Devils a 2-0 lead. That is how the second period would end. And after the first 40 minutes, I'm not going to lie, I was getting pretty excited. I'm sitting on my couch, and I'm like, come on, boys. One more period for these 2 points that we desperately need. We've been on a slide as of late, obviously. A lot of bad fortune. And this was a game they needed to have. We go to the third, and of course they had to make it interesting. Of course it had to be a little bit of a nail-biter. It wouldn't be a New Jersey Devils game if it was an easy victory. Konechny has the puck in the neutral zone. He hits Drysdale with a perfect pass. He splits the defenders. He's in all alone against Allen. Freezes Allen. Allen kind of goes down and does a weird kind of, I don't know what the hell it was there. But Drysdale beats him low stick side. Drysdale's 4th of the season at 15-14. Cuts the Devils' lead to 2-1. And at that point, I was like, oh, no. 4 minutes and 46 seconds left. I was like, is this really going to happen? Can't we have nice things? Can't the New Jersey Devils just get this massive road victory? Please. We need these 2 points. In the last few minutes of the game, Sanheim takes a dirty cross-checking penalty against Brett Pesce. Thankfully, it looks like Pesce's okay. Dirty cross-check, and Tortorella went crazy. Flyers shorthanded to end the game, and they still pull the goalie. A late face-off at center ice. Haula wins the draw, and Dawson Mercer fires it into the empty net from center ice. Haula on the power play at 19:42, his 15th of the season, assisted by Haula and Palat. Give the Devils a 3-1 lead, and that is how the game would end. And your New Jersey Devils, my friends, what a gutsy road victory. We get to the game stats. Devils at 23 shots on goal. The Flyers with 24 shots. Devils 56.8% from the faceoff circle. The Flyers 43.2%. Devils go 1 for 1 on the power play. The Flyers go 0 for 1 on the power play. Devils with 21 hits. The Flyers with 28 hits. Devils with 14 block shots. The Flyers with 15 block shots. Devils with 25 giveaways and the Flyers with 13 giveaways. Devils 6 takeaways and the Flyers with 4 takeaways. And all in all, it wasn't a beautiful victory. Yes, the Flyers are struggling. They're not a great team. But in the end, Devils and Flyers always play tight games. Division rivalry, it has been for years. The Flyers would have loved to play spoiler and hurt our playoff chances, but it wasn't in the cards. The Devils prevail. And if I'm being honest about this season, you all know where I stand. I'm not trying to be negative, but I did think that the trade deadline was definitely underwhelming and was not what I was looking for or what many of you were looking for a little more help to round out this roster for this crucial stretch to get into the playoffs and then hopefully for the actual playoffs. It is what it is. The team is what they are today. I will always root for the boys. I will always watch the Devils. I will always love the Devils. And it's going to be tough down the stretch. No teams are going to be easy victories. The Devils do have one of the easiest remaining schedules, but that doesn't mean much because, as you all know, the Devils have struggled with bad teams historically for a few seasons now. For whatever reason, they play down to their competition. But if you have your choice, you much rather have the easier schedule than playing the juggernauts of the league, obviously. So I'll gladly take it. Hopefully they can perform. Hopefully they can continue to gel. It looks like we might have a third line that is capable of producing. As you all know, the bottom six has been pretty stagnant as of late. And this third line with Haula, Glass, and Sprong might be able to bring it. We may have found some new life with this unit. We'll see how that all plays out. But all in all, 2 points is 2 points. A massive win for the Devils. Now, it doesn't change much in my opinion. Like I said, it's going to be a struggle to hang on to the playoffs. I mean, the Blue Jackets are soaring right now. And it's setting the table for what will be a massive game at the Rock tomorrow night against the Columbus Blue Jackets. And oh boy, I really hope the New Jersey Devils are prepared for war. Absolute war. Jack is done for the season. I don't really know what to make of the Dougie situation, but in the end, they need to go into battle as if this is the group that will go into the playoffs if they make it, and hopefully they start playing like it. Play warfare hockey. The Blue Jackets are coming off of a massive win over the Rangers. They're going to look to keep their surge going, and the Devils have to be ready. They have to come out flying, have to play a 60-minute game. Hopefully they could score first. We all know the Devils play a different game and force their opponents to play a different game when they have the early lead. Got to get the first goal. Got to throw a lot of hits. Got to be physical. It's going to be a great one. Tuesday night at the Rock, Blue Jackets, a massive, massive, massive game. Dare I say the biggest regular season game in quite some time for the New Jersey Devils. Massive playoff implications on the line in that one, and it should be interesting. Just thinking about some other random things from this Flyers game. I did think that Curtis McDermott should have been in the lineup, and I know a lot of people flame me when I say that, but in the end, I do believe in Curtis McDermott and what he brings, and the team does seem to respond and play differently when he's in the lineup. In this Flyers game, we saw pregame Delorier and Dillon face-to-face during warm-ups, looking like they were talking about some possible fisticuffs during the game. And sure enough, early on in the game, Delorier was running around after Dillon looking for a fight. I do believe Keefe instructed him not to fight because Dillon doesn't back down from anybody. The fight never happened. And then a little while later, Delorier was trying to fight Nason. So I do think, especially in games like the Flyers where you know there's a lot of bad blood and physicality, McDermott needs to be out there for those types of games. And I do think if he was there, we would have been treated to a classic. We would have seen McDermott versus Delorier. But it wasn't meant to be. It is what it is. I'll take the win. Minus the fisticuffs. You know I love the fisticuffs, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Hopefully we will maybe see McDermott in a couple games down the stretch. I'm not really sure. I feel like we haven't seen him in quite some time. Would like to see him in there. We look to Tuesday. I expect to see a very similar lineup. Maybe Paul Cotter will be thrust back in. I fully expect to see Jacob Markstrom in net, looking to get his first victory after returning from his 5-week absence due to injury. And then we have another big one Thursday back at the Rock as well against Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. Massive games. Every game is massive, guys. Every game is massive, and this team just continues to bring us on a roller coaster. It's just been an insane roller coaster with this team throughout the whole season.
Every day is a winding road.
Every day is a winding road. What will the next day bring us in New Jersey Devils fanland? But I'm jacked for the rest of the season. Like I said, despite my negative feelings towards the front office, I will always root for the group. I will always root for the boys. And they got to come together and get it done. It would be something special for them to get into the playoffs without Jack Hughes and to maybe win a couple rounds. I do believe, and people are like, oh, they can't win without Jack. I've said it multiple times now in the past few days. This is not the New Jersey Jack Hughes. This is the New Jersey Devils. We play for the crest on the front of the jersey, not the name on the back. If you believe this team is done without Jack Hughes, then shame on you. We have plenty of talent on this roster. Nico Hischier, Jesper Bratt, Timo Meier, Stefan Nason, Luke Hughes, Markey and net. We have so much talent that obviously it's a big hit to lose your best player or your best offensive player in Jack Hughes. And any team that misses their top player like that is going to struggle for at least a little bit. But if you believe Jack is the whole team, then shame on you. And furthermore, if the front office thinks Jack is the whole team, shame on them. If you build a whole team around one guy, at least a hockey team, and you think that the season's over when that guy goes down, that's not a good team. And I think this team is a pretty good team. Despite their struggling in 2025, deep down inside, I do believe this team has some character. They got to come together. They got to show it. They got to play to the best of their ability. They got to play 60 minutes, and I do believe that will give them a good chance. I believe they're second in the league at the moment in goals against. I mean, that is incredible. That alone gives you a chance to win on every night. The defense and goaltending this year finally came together. Last year it was a disaster, and I do think this team is capable of winning some ugly 2-1, 3-2 type games down the stretch and into the playoffs. If you get into the playoffs, that's playoff hockey. Playoff hockey. Win these low-scoring games. The ice shrinks a little bit. Space becomes at a premium. Guys aren't able to move around as freely and generate the chances that they might be able to in the regular season, and it's just a grind. Playoff hockey is an absolute grind, and this Flyers game was a little bit of that. You didn't see the typical Devils fancy speed transition type goals. They had to work for these a little bit more. Get the puck in, dump and chase, try to work it around, get a cycle going. You got to do these things to win, and especially in the playoffs. And as some of you pointed out in the post-game live, maybe these guys are being forced to elevate their individual games without Jack Hughes in the lineup. It's just a fact. They have to. They have no choice. But I'm jacked for the rest of the season. This game Tuesday night is basically a pre-playoff game. It's going to be a great one. Hopefully they dig deep and they could find a big win. Markey's going to have to stand on his head. But again, just to reiterate, I do firmly believe in this club, especially with Markey. Hopefully he could steal some game for us down the stretch here, get us in the playoffs. And then once you get in, guys, anything can happen. Anything can happen in the playoffs. We've seen crazier things. The 1995 New Jersey Devils. No better example than a quality team had to start every series on the road, and they brought home the first Stanley Cup in franchise history. We're just a few months away from the 30th anniversary. My God, do I feel old. And a lot of you old-timers, longtime fans like myself, remember that season very vividly and what a magical one it was. But they're the greatest example of a underdog kind of team going into the playoffs, and they went all the way. Why not us? Why not us? Especially with Markey in net and especially with a stout defense that could hold teams to minimal goals. They have a chance. They're just going to have to find a way to squeak out 2 or 3 goals for themselves in these games down the stretch and in the playoffs, and anything could happen. But what a game. Let me know what you thought about this game in the comments. I'm still fired up from it. Huge win. Huge 2 points. But, yeah, let me know what you thought about the game. Anything, everything Devils hockey, throw it out there in the comments. I enjoy talking to all of you. I'll be back soon. Tons of stuff in the works. Keep your eyes peeled. Lots of things in the works. I still have to put out the third part of the Cam Jansen interview. The Jay Pandolfo interview will be coming out soon. I've just been backed up with some other life things and videos and stuff, but it's all coming out. If you're newer to the channel, poke around. If you're a longtime fan, go to the interview playlist. I have a few interviews with some former players like Scott Gomez and Jamie Langenbrunner. Some other cool stuff on there, so check that out. And I'll be back very soon. Very, very soon. I'm jacked for the rest of the season, and hopefully this team can just continue to ride the wave. Ride the wave and get us into the playoffs. It's been too long. It has been too long. I want to go to games in shorts in May. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.